Hey everybody, welcome back to the Sunny Side. I'm Sonny. This is Ruby's past life astrology reading. Ruby's a longtime Sunny Sider. And here you go. So the first thing we look at is the moon. And because the moon represents obviously your subconscious. And the moon is your subconscious, it's your inner nature, it's the things you're gonna do anyways. It is who you are on the inside. It's who you, and moreover than that, it's who you were in your past life. And so it's who you were in a past life. It includes a lot of mothering influences you had in a past life, and it also includes some of the themes, the karmic themes that you're bringing with you from that past life. And here we go, and that you're moving forward. It's like the sun. That's like how we use the sun in this lifetime, but it's actually the past life. And we start with the moon. So Ruby's moon is in Leo, in the fourth house, no less. Oh my goodness. Ruby's moon is in Leo in the fourth house. It means she was incredibly nurturing in her last lifetime. She may have worked from home in her last lifetime. She may have worked in the entertainment industry in the last lifetime. There's did I just say she may have worked from home? She may have worked from home. She may have worked in the entertainment industry. She may have spent a lot of time mothering other people. She might have spent obviously taking care of others. And that's the deal. That's the very big deal. And that's the essence. She might have, in her last lifetime, she may have been a bit of a drama queen. She was definitely playful, romantic, and gregarious. You know, the moon is in Leo, so in her last lifetime, she was playful, she was romantic. She liked to take care of a lot of people, and she very much wanted to be the center of attention. In addition to that, she probably worked very hard, right? Moon and Leo in the past life are very hard-working people. They just like the attention, and they just like recognition for what they're doing. As such, those on top of all of that, it's in the fourth house. So moods around fourth house themes, problems with the fourth house can always, were there in the past life. She probably spent a lot of time at home, a lot of time taking care of the family, and in this lifetime, that theme is carrying forward. And these themes will carry with her for the next life unless she somehow moves forward towards the sun, which is this lifetime, and then eventually moving towards the fifth house, which is creating for the next lifetime. All right, we're not going to get into all that kind of stuff. In addition to that, the moon is highly aspected, right? Chiron is making a heavy aspect to the moon that indicates that in a last lifetime, there might be some emotional wounds. Like there might have been, there might have been, there must have been a very big sacrifice that she had in the last lifetime, as Chiron makes this aspect to the moon. I don't necessarily think she was a nurse or anything like that. I think with Chiron, now normally I wouldn't look at Chiron, right, in a past life fast and mini reading like this, but it is making an aspect to the moon here, just like Jupiter is making an aspect to the moon. And it's an interesting to take note of here. In a past, like, because Chiron is the wounded healer, but it's making a harmonious aspect to the moon. So in her past life, she probably healed people somehow. But then again, Chiron, it's not really in a healing kind of position. It's in Aries, which is more of a competitive and policing and entrepreneurial, maybe a little sporty kind of sign. So maybe in her last life, with the moon making that aspect to Chiron, maybe she was indeed a little sporty. Maybe she was indeed a little sporty. Maybe she was more aggressive and more like in policing, that kind of thing. Anyways, that Chiron makes a very healthy aspect to the moon, and that means she gets courage for things that might normally give her fear. There's a possibility in her past life she might have died by fire, or she might have died in competition in a past life. But at the same time, the Chiron there in the 11th house, it's putting a lot. Now, I just want to guys to just take a little note of something. Although Sonny said Chiron in the 11th house, when we're doing past life astrology, it actually comes from the 9th house. So we're actually looking at 1, 2, 3. We're actually looking at the third house. Just letting you guys know, past lives astrology is a little different. I don't usually do this house stuff when we're mini readings, but I'll just show you right now. So there's a possibility that in her past life, there was a lot of movement. There was a lot of, there might have been an accident, right? Like a accident by movement. And anyways, neither here nor there. Or there might have been one of her brothers or sisters might have been really sick in a past lifetime. And I don't know that she was taking care of them, but that wound, right? That wound, instead of it being like a major wound that most people would feel, with the moon and the Chiron in that aspect, it's more of an empowering kind of situation, meaning a place that would normally make someone afraid, she feels empowered there. She has the strength to overcome these kind of social situations. All right, next, let's move on. Let's leave that and let's just move on. So after the moon, okay, so we want to move from the moon to the sun, because once again, the sun is this lifetime. Fifth house will be your next lifetime. So if you're going to do the thing charting away, she's going to try and move from her sun to the moon to her Venus, which is over here, which is what she's which is going to be in her grandchildren. Just letting you guys know. But as we cruise along, let's look at a little bit more past life stuff. So the next place we're going to go is the South Node. Obviously, for anyone who studies any kind of past life stuff, whether you're going to learn it on Instagram or you're going to learn it through Vedic astrology, or you're going to come and study with me, you're going to look at the South Node. And it's very common for people to say the South Node are themes or ideas or concerns that you bring into this lifetime, stuff that you had in another lifetime. So you should look at the moon as who you were in a previous lifetime, and the South Node is how you did things. And for Ruby, there was a lot of energy around communication and personal finances. She probably spent a lot of time making money in her last life, a lot of time money, comfort, security, a major, major, major quest for information. In her last life, she was probably very social, probably asked a lot of questions. Wounds from being social, right? Chiron is right there. Wounds from being social, but maybe she talks to a lot of sick people. Maybe she talks in a competitive way. Maybe she has to associate with the enemy. Chiron, Aries associate with the enemy. All right, here we go. Anyways, back to it. So a lot of energy goes into her personal finances, but you'll see wherever the South Node is, as you bring that energy into this lifetime, it's going to cause some problems. It's going to be, it's just too much energy going there in her personal finances and too much of a reliance on personal finances. And then her goal from so there's too much emphasis on taking care of herself, too much emphasis on my money, my stuff. And I don't get that impression from her at all. But I'm just saying what the chart says. And in the past life, she spent a lot of time counting her pennies, a lot of time counting her money, a lot of time making sure the castle was clean, making sure her stuff was taken care of, because there are times, remember Saturn is here, it's the next thing we're going to get to, where people didn't respect her financially. And although she did all the work, she wasn't always paid for the work she did, or she wasn't paid what she's worth for the work that she did. And it's a thing. It's a real thing. There's a lot of planets there. I mean, 2 is a lot. 2 big karma planets, a lot. And then it pushes forward all the way to the 8th house, which is taking a chance on other people's stuff. It's in Sagittarius. So that's more like the big picture, more like having faith that the project's going to work out. It's more of a belief structure. It's more with working with people from different cultures, or working with different ideas, or working in a philosophical way. And that's what's going on. And so, sure, she always relies back upon her making money, her stuff, her comfort. But really, the long-term success, and one of the ways to eliminate the karma or the negative stuff from her past, is to push it forward into shared resources. And you'll see her Juno is right there as well. There is a little bit of a problem because Lilith is there, and Lilith is always going to cause problems. And this is Ruby's chart. I'm not gonna like tell her to go do some. So like, anyways, so heads up, heads up, heads up. There's one more past life planet that we should look at for today, anyways, and that's right here. It's Saturn. Saturn technically is the planet of karma in astrology, and so it is the lessons that you're bringing forward from the past. And in her past, there was a reliance on hard work and on her stuff. It's also in Cancer, so there's a possibility of excessive nurturing. There's a possibility of excessive nurturing in her past life. There's a possibility of financial troubles in a past life. I have the feeling that what happened was she just does not get paid what she's worth, period. Now, if we'll look at things, remember, we were just talking about the nodes in Saturn. Saturn actually prefers it by the south node or the north node, and the north node prefers Saturn. The north node, to bring it into reality, takes hard work, dedication, discipline, and reality. And so the north node's pie in the sky. Down here, the south node is stuff that tends to happen easily. There tends to be too much information going on in the south node. But you know, it's heated, it's hot. It's been heated up. With whatever comes into contact with it, heats it up. Except for Saturn, because Saturn's a little cold, cold and dry, and it's going to mess up the south node. It's not bringing like life and abundance to this past life thing. So Saturn conjunct the south node is going to cause some problems. It's going to take away things you'd naturally be good at. In Ruby's case, she has to watch out that in her past life, someone didn't steal from her, right? This is often your money. She has to watch out that someone doesn't steal from her. And in this lifetime, people are not valuing her contribution, and they're not valuing her worth. And as such, Saturn here, she has to work hard for money, and she has to fight for, she has to fight to get, she just flat out has to fight to get paid. I guess I'm beating around the bush here, but she has to fight to get paid. And that's the gist of a past life reading. Some other things you might want to look at in the past. You might want to look at how past love life was concerned. You might want to look at how you used to thought. There aren't a lot of retrograde planets like that to think about, where there might have been disruptions there. Just something to think about. In addition to that, oftentimes we look at the 12th house, which is, it's the clearing out of the zodiac. It's your immediate past. Your immediate past is the 12th house. It is the stuff that just dissolved. It is your subconscious. It is your mind. It is all the stuff that just happened. In astrology, and I think Nia was alluding to this a little earlier, this is the first house. This is the karma of the 12th house, right? Just like this is you, and this is second house is your money, or like this is your career, and if you do a good job in your career, the 11th house is getting promoted, right? It's pretty simple. It's not really that complicated. The 6th house is what you do every day. The 7th house is the people you do it with. If things are good in the 7th house, then you'll make money in the 8th. If you don't, you'll lose money in the 8th. And that's how it works. 12th house is the undoing of the energy, and the first house is bringing it into this lifetime. So sometimes we look at the 12th house. One of the things you might want to look at is the 9th house. The 9th house does indicate your past life or where you're coming from. And one of the ways that we do past life astrology is to put the 9th house on the ascendant. The 9th house is also a lot of your fortune. And it's pretty simple. It's 915. It shouldn't be that complicated to you guys. The 9th house represents your father and where you're coming from. Right? The 9th house is where you're coming from. It's your past life. It's where you were successful in your last life. And then your 5th house is your children and your future life. It's what you're creating coming in front of you. So the 9th house, so it works like this. The 9th house is your past, all the good stuff from the past. It represents a relationship with your father, one of the places. And then the first house is you, it's this lifetime, and then the fifth house is next lifetime. And that's how it works. Pretty neat, huh? That's the cycle of astrology and how it moves in motion. Some of the things you might want to look at. If you want to look at a future lifetime, what you're going to be in your next lifetime, you're going to stick it, you're going to put the, you're going to look at it from your fifth house. And that's how it works, guys. Hope everybody had a lot of fun. That's Ruby's chart. Thanks, Ruby, for letting me look at your chart. Thanks for all the support as well. And I wish you the best of everything.